The galaxy had long been divided into various factions, each one holding its own sway over countless planets and star systems. Among them, the Galactic Council was seen as the ultimate governing body, a collection of powerful species that claimed to represent peace, prosperity, and the shared interests of all sentient beings. Humanity, a relatively young and brash species, had been welcomed into the fold, its rapid technological advancements earning both admiration and jealousy from other galactic races. However, humanity's role in the galactic community had always been a contentious one. While the Council claimed to offer a space for all races to thrive, they had often viewed humans as little more than a useful tool for their own ends. Diplomacy and trade were the words used to mask the truth that humanity was seen as expendable. It wasn't long before the Council began to view Earth's rapidly growing military strength as a potential threat. The betrayal came as a whisper at first, secretive meetings held behind closed doors, alliances forged under the table. The Council decided that humanity had outlived its usefulness. The plan was simple: strip Earth of its resources, leave the humans to their own devices, and then let them burn in the inevitable wars that would follow. With a coordinated strike, the Council would disable Earth's most vital defense systems, rendering humanity defenseless. After all, the great powers of the galaxy had lived in peace for millennia, their technology far beyond anything the humans could ever hope to defend against. But they didn't count on one thing: the human spirit. Galactic Fleet Command. General Marcus Hayes stood at the helm of the Avenger, the flagship of humanity's 5th Expeditionary Fleet. He stared out into the endless expanse of space where hundreds of ships, each a marvel of human engineering, flanked him. The fleet was ready, and with it, the full wrath of humanity's vengeance. Just days ago, the transmission from the Galactic Council had arrived, a cold, calculated message that had sent shockwaves across Earth and its colonies. "Your species has been deemed a liability," it said. "Your planet will be abandoned, and your future will be determined by forces greater than you can comprehend." At first, humanity had believed it was a mistake, surely a misunderstanding. But as the transmission continued, revealing evidence of planned attacks on Earth's most vital systems, there was no room for doubt. The betrayal was real. The Council had gambled with humanity's future, and now they would pay the price. General Hayes clenched his jaw, his fists tightening on the command chair. "Prepare the fleet," he ordered. "We're going to teach the Council a lesson they'll never forget." The Galactic Council. At the heart of the Galactic Council's headquarters, a massive structure built on the neutral world of Kaldath. Representatives from the various species gathered. The Council's decision to turn on humanity had been swift and calculated, with most of the races agreeing that humanity's presence in the galaxy was becoming more troublesome than it was worth. Councillor Vishal, a tall, regal figure of the ancient Arctuian species, spoke to the gathered assembly. "Humanity's fleet may be growing, but it is no match for the might of the galactic powers. We have taken precautions. They will not be a threat to us." The other members nodded in agreement. The Thrixie, an insectoid race known for their advanced psychic abilities, and the Nerok, a crystalline species who controlled vast swaths of the galaxy's energy resources, had all voted in favor of abandoning humanity. Their confidence in the plan was palpable. "What about the humans themselves?" Councillor Ryak, the representative from the Valorians, asked. "They are unpredictable, their emotions make them dangerous. They'll fall into chaos once their defenses are neutralized," Vishal replied. "And by the time they realize their fate, it will be too late." But none of them had considered the one variable that no one could predict: the resilience and ingenuity of humanity. Humanity's fleet enters Council space. The Avenger and its fleet arrived on the outskirts of Council space at precisely 0900 hours Galactic Standard Time. Hundreds of ships, warships, destroyers, carriers, and an array of specialized vessels followed in perfect formation. The sight was a testament to humanity's rapid military expansion, and it sent ripples of panic through the Council's ranks. "We've entered Council space," Lieutenant Kate Foster reported, her voice steady despite the immense weight of the moment. "All systems are online and ready for engagement." General Hayes stood before the massive viewport of the command bridge, his eyes narrowing as he gazed upon the world that had once seemed like a beacon of peace, but now represented nothing more than betrayal. No more negotiations. No more second chances. We fight. The Avenger and its fleet surged forward, cutting through space like a hammer through glass. It was not just a show of force, it was an act of revenge. The battle begins. The first battle in the Galactic War for humanity's survival erupted near the gas giant Arconis. The Galactic Council's fleets, composed of the greatest military powers in the galaxy, were vastly superior in numbers and firepower. They opened fire as soon as the human ships came into range, massive energy beams ripping through the vacuum of space. But they were unprepared for the human tactics that followed. Humanity's ships, though smaller and less technologically advanced, moved with a precision that sent shockwaves through the Council's lines. The Avengers' railguns tore through the hulls of the largest Council dreadnoughts, while fighters from Earth's colonies engaged in brutal dogfights with alien vessels. Every human ship was armed with the latest technology, and they fought with a single-minded purpose that sent the Council's fleet reeling. The Arctuian flagship, Tempestus, was the first to fall. The ship was crippled by a direct hit from the Avengers' main cannon, its shields barely able to absorb the energy. Vishal, sitting in his ornate command chair, barely had time to react before the vessel was reduced to a smoldering wreck. It was the first time the Galactic Council had seen humanity in full force. General Hayes' voice crackled over the comms. "To all human ships, hold the line. Show them what we're made of. No mercy. The Galactic Council pays the price." The battle raged for hours, with humanity's forces cutting through the Council's defenses like a blade through silk. What the Council had underestimated was not just the strength of humanity's military, but the unyielding will of its people. They had been abandoned, betrayed, but now they had something to prove. It wasn't just about survival, it was about sending a message. By the time the last of the Council's fleet was shattered and retreating, the message was clear. Humanity was no longer a pawn in the galaxy's grand game. They had become the hammer. As the surviving Council members convened on Kaldath to discuss their next steps, the full weight of their mistake sank in. The fleet that had once been underestimated had shattered their strongest defenses, and now humanity stood poised to claim its place in the stars. "Humanity has proven their worth," Ra'ak the Valorian said solemnly. "Perhaps we have underestimated them, and now we must live with the consequences." And so the Galactic Council learned the hard way: never underestimate the power of a species that knows they have nothing left to lose. Humanity's fleet had arrived. The galaxy would never be the same again.